The idea of Antarctica was not my start. I started up, I went to school, grew up in what they call civilization, and it never came into me. My friends, everyone, they were like thinking forward to studies, but I wasn't, because I stuck in that system, and I didn't feel living at all. One day, I saw a boat. I had no sailing experience, but I saw this wreck of a boat, which was like a symbol for my dreams, really, because it was lying there and it was my way out of it. They thought my words were just empty. They thought I was just talking about a dream which would never happen. But when you go berserk, you put all in it, you know? There's no way back. The whole thing started with going to the south, to the warm, to the fun, to the sun. So Gambia, Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, and then Brazil, Argentina, Tierra del Fuego, Patagonia, Cape Horn. Everyone said, you can't do that, it's crazy. And I thought, they think it's crazy to sail out, but I think it's crazy to be here. When I had turned the Cape Horn and reached the fireland, Tierra del Fuego, I for the first time in my life saw glaciers and a fantastic nature.
Jeg skal si annet enn at jeg har seilet jævla langt for å se denne knausen i havet. Og den videre drømmen nå er å seile til Antarktis.
And I knew Antarctica was not far away. And I knew I wanted to extend the limits because I'd been in Cape Horn, and it was tough, but it could have been worse. The boat, my boat, the berserk, I spoke to her, you know. When I was in port, sitting there, I could just talk to my boat. I had a relation to her, like a girl, you know. She's the girl. And you talk to her, and she's nice to you, you're nice to her.
Vi driver og forbereder båten for Drake-passasjen. Setter på vinderoret for å slippe å sitte på roret hele tiden. Mye detaljer som skal ordnes.
People had warned me for sailing over the North Sea with that boat. People had warned me to go over the Atlantic with that boat. I mean, it's a small boat. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. But the Vikings, with open boats, they went to Iceland and Greenland. That was tough. But with a boat like that, you can go anywhere.
Siste forberedelse for Antarktis. Båten er ship-shape. Fylt opp med vann og bensin og alt som er. Mat for 3 måneder. Nå går kursen til Kapp Horn, Drake-passasjen. Og vinduet gjør jobben. Og satt på luker foran vinduene, slik at bølgene i Drake-passasjen ikke knuser rutene våre.
I had prepared the boat to sail alone, and I was not waiting for any crew. I had waited up till the 1st of December because I wanted to celebrate New Year's and stuff. And no one showed up, and then things changed along the way. David and Manuel, they walked together down to the pier. We wanted to go to Antarctica.
I want to go to Antarctica, and I love the adventure. It's the adventure of it. And this is an adventure.
Dette her den nye mannskapet som ombord I berserken. De sitter nå og knyter knuter og lærer å bli seilere. So let's start with Davy. Davy?
Yes, Captain.
How did you get on board the Berserk, and what's your aim going to Antarctica?
Well, I've traveled some other continents in the world, all of them, and I wanted to go to Antarctica. I didn't want to go on a simple cruise ship or a tourist ship. And I heard about the captain, heard about you in Punta Arenas.
David heard about the boat which I had planned leaving the 1st of January from Ushuaia, and he knew that this was his thing. And with his swollen foot and without celebrating any New Year's, he just went down to Land's End, and the fastest possible way, and he went down to the pier. But before coming to the pier, he met this Argentinian outside the tourist information asking,
So, Emmanuel, what about you?
Well, I was sitting there on a little bench on the tourist information plaza in Ushuaia, and then I started talking to this compadre, and hey, never been to Ushuaia before. And I'm kind of tired of reading about adventure, you know? So, this is my life now.
And then we started talking. We had 10 minutes of intensive talking with serious eye contact. And I said, okay, we'll go for a 1-week trip all together. We turn the horn, just, so you feel the sea. And then get the last supply, and we head out to Antarctica.
Anything that is not comfortable or that is not easy, and there is no way out of this, so I will have to surrender and hey, and trust. It's the final frontier, the last untouched continent, the wildest, most remote place, and I want to see it.
I didn't feel confident with going alone there. It didn't really settle in, because it would mean less efficient sailing. David, when he came, he was, smiling and this really nice guy. And the same was Manuel. They were really nice guys, You meet people and, the karma was there. Excellent. And some people has it, other people don't. And it was a perfect start, David and Manuel, they had the glimpse in their eye to do something and go for it. We're the three of us, we had that. It was no luxury cruise, and they knew that. Manuel knew that, David knew that for day one. I said, Antarctica is no catwalk. It's tough. That's just the way it is. This is not like going to the Canary Islands. And they understood that. They had heard about Antarctica in all their life.
How's it going, Manuel?
Good. My stomach is empty, but I'm at the end of the world.
What about yourself, David?
I'm having the time of my life.
Good.
This is Cape Horn. These are the most dangerous waters in the world. This is shallow water. That's why the waves are breaking here, because you're close to land. We're less than 60 nautical miles off land.
Many ships have gone down there because it's Cape Horn. And yeah, it's a bad place. With whichever boat you have, it's a small boat. Whichever. I mean, big boats go down because it's the sea. But the elements are like that, You can't control them.
Around the horn, hey ho, hey ho. Around the horn, hey ho, hey ho. I went threw up, but then threw up, but then threw up again. Hey, Manuel, how's it going there, hanging?
It's great. I just like to look at the fish close up, because
is not escape from a comfortable position like that one. You gotta get in the water. You know, you gotta taste the shit as many times as you can. Okay.
12 hours after leaving the Cape Horn astern, the storm hit. So we hit the shit, basically. It's an amazing feeling, seeing the power of nature, you know. I was just happy for it, really, because it was winds up the ass and fast. It's fantastic to watch, and everyone will respect it, because nothing is bigger than the elements, the force of the elements. I explained that. We had put the horn, the biggest risk. We had those around 12 hours with bad weather, and we were over half the way. So it was one way, and it was to Antarctica, as planned. David was happy with that. He managed very well. No problems, he was calm. But Argentinian, Manuel, he lost it. He had been scared by the sea. He was spouting and yelling and shouting for his mother, you know, like, ah, like that. And he was very, angry and so on. It was, easy to fire up. If you just said something, it was like, hey! And he was panicked. You know, he freaked out, basically. Suddenly, the storm was over.
Båten er som et bomba horehus. Muligens som vanlig. Alt er vått. Vi har en liten skade her på styrbord maststøtte. Skader som dette skulle helst vært foruten. Men ikke å gjøre noe. Frøverket sprekker. Vi får gjøre litt nødreparasjoner når vi kommer i beskyttet ansiktsplass.
The Argentinian and my American friend, they were going to experience what the sea can be, how harsh it can be. And after those 10 hours of bad weather, they had, experienced something new in their life.
So David, how's your feeling after the storm, after the broken wind vane, and after the broken sea anchor?
It's good to be alive, I'll tell you that. I'm sure you heard about our force 12 gales. It was nothing, really. Now we're sailing along the Drake. Beautiful sunny day. Here we are.
Drake.
Going to Antarctica, baby!
And Manuel, after the storm, when things got quiet again, he still was out of it. So we had to have these night watches and look for him too. Not only the boat, but he was, threatening with jumping overboard and stuff, Which is like, it doesn't make things any easier.
Vi er nå i arktisk farvann, og det er kaldt og høy luftfuktighet. Men utover det så går det fint. Hver eneste mil vi kommer sydover nå, så blir faren for å møte isfjell større og større. Kurs sydover altså, og cirka et par dager igjen til vi kommer til Peninsula.
When you sail, you need a efficient lookout all the time, who looks for icebergs, rollers. There's a risk. Some places bigger than others.
Det er hardt å se isfjell i det været her, altså. Vi går for sakte fart, med rev i seila, for å ha tid til å se. Sikten er cirka 50-70 meter.
And the moment we saw land, the Argentinian said, "Iceberg ahoy." And, at that moment, we were like, three friends again. His stars was back in his eyes. He was happy again for a short amount of time.
Well, this iceberg we're seeing here to the right is pretty damn huge. And if we pan to the left, so there is a couple more. And right in between them, there is a very little entrance. We just arrived in Antarctica, and the goal is to get right in the middle of them and head for Melkor Island.
This is something which 99%, which is doing the normal life, will never ever feel and will never ever experience. This is something which is there and then in that part of the world at that particular moment. We came to Antarctica, the engine didn't start, and it was like a tough entrance to get in there because we had no engine. We went through these two icebergs which were drifting like that, and we got a little behind one of the icebergs. The point is that turbulent winds pushed us in towards the ice, which moved up and down, up and down.
Okay, we got crawlers! Gosh, they got you surrounded! The distance is really narrow. Hopefully there won't be an avalanche.
We've hit the shit, it's over now. David was happy with that. He moved on. He developed, and he wasn't worried about it after that, and it was good sailing after that. And the Argentinian, when the sun was up and it was all good, he was smiling too, when it was always good. But when it was cold, he just lost it and blamed us for everything. When we got there, it was all forgotten. All troubles, worries were gone. There was just, the feeling of freedom. That was it. Because it was just so... the penguins were saying hello on land, and everyone, the seals was looking at us. And it was, we had come for what we were looking for. And there was no one yelling to each other at that point,
Hey, there she blows! Woo!
I was expecting jumping whales and hoping for that. And the whales in Antarctica are too lazy. They just eat and have a nice time. There's no jumps. The whales, they live in the sea. They feel the boat from 20 meters distance, 50 meters distance. They know there's something there. If the whale wants, it comes up and it plays around. If it doesn't want, it doesn't give a shit.
Whoa!
Fått faen dette her, da. Wow! Februar, Hakkapikke Bay. Vi en god ankerplass like ved False Island. Og hele natta så har vi brukt til å skyve is. Vi har nå et isfjell foran oss som vi skal ta opp før vi tar opp ankeret. Som vi skal ha bort før vi får opp ankeret. Og det kommer til å illustrere hva slags natt vi har hatt. Ok, vanlig I Antarctic.
The atmosphere on board with Manuel get colder and colder. The further we got south, the more bitter he became. There was no more I want to go adventuring, it was more I want to go home. It was an Argentinian base there with no people in it, and he said that I want to stay here. You can move on and you can call the Argentinian Navy and they can come here and save me.
Recording. Rolling.
Okay. John Manuel Hernandez, how did you come here?
I sailed on the Berserk from Ushuaia. I hitchhiked to Ushuaia, and then I just kept on going. It took 10 minutes to decide our fate, and I was coming down here.
Before leaving, you had heard about the Drake Passage.
No.
You had heard it was a tough ocean to pass.
From you. Well, all I heard, I have heard from you.
Yes, and you've also heard about Antarctica before you came here.
I heard about Antarctica all my life. Yes.
It's
What
cold.
do you specifically mean?
What I want to get to is that
Yes, thank you.
we came down here, a team, 3 people. You were the one who's the hitchhiker, who has brought very little, bringing no clothes, which you would borrow from me because I had enough to borrow you, and you have had clothes during the whole passage.
Still my feet are numb. Yes.
Your feet are numb, it's cold feet. You are in Antarctica.
He was like talking bullshit. He can't stay in Antarctica on an abandoned base. In worst case, we would have to sail him back to Tierra del Fuego. Against his will, we kept him on board, and we followed the cruiser ships where the places where they go, and we went down to Cooverville Island.
It got really ugly. We had decided, yes, you're going to go to Melchior Island. First of all, the debate was whether he should stay on Melchior Island. We didn't want to put him ashore there because we felt that his chances of survival were not good. I mean, he had to take care of himself there and nobody might show up. I mean, we were saying, you're going to die. And he says, I don't care. And finally I said, look, I would rather you died on Melchior than came with us. And I felt bad about that.
I mean, to have a guy like him on board makes it all a hassle. Everything is a hassle. And I mean, he wasn't to any help. He was just lying in fucking bed all day and waking me up when he was cold on his feet.
Om det var skjebne eller ikke, det må gudene vite, fordi dagen etter, fordi vi ikke hadde fått startet motoren, så lå vi fortsatt på Cooverville Island, og da var et cruiserskip der.
There's our savior ship, the Disco. The ship that has agreed to take Bodwell.
So cool. This is so fucking cool, man. Skipperen dansk, og det dansk, eller grønlandsk. Vi prater dansk, og det hjalp.
they would take him for free. And he could work his way back to Antarctic, to Argentina. We could get him off the boat, and we split up as friends, you know. We called it the miracle of Courville. We had luck.
Over my head?
It's over your head. Oh, man.
They'll keep coming.
We don't want them to come. Oh! Keep going now.
The scenery changes all the time. The ice formation changes and the wildlife changes. You know, you see every day from the penguin is a small, small baby to it grows up. You can see the changes every day. You can sit on one stone throughout the season and see that the arena is changing because it's such so big differences between summer and winter. In the winter it's all dead. It's frozen in. In the summer it's life as no other place.
Okay, David, you're free to go.
I touched it! I touched it! You saw it!
David is accepted by the animals. I am not. So he's the king of the animals, you know? That's all there is to it.
Now this is fucking up.
We wanted to go to Antarctica to see the wildlife, wild places, to explore untouched places where no man has ever walked. We were living day by day. We were not living by, norms which you have in society. We were living by how the karma around us was, We were living how the nature allowed us to live it.
How many times have you brushed your teeth on this voyage?
This is my second time, Mom. I got strong teeth, man.
What's the occasion?
Well, it's good sailing, and I haven't been fucking around with the engine today, so, you know.
Ice bathing, I think it's okay. David didn't, so we smelled like two salty dogs.
Tactical! Tactical!
It was just immense and intensive, and all worries were, you know, laid behind. We were just there living together and feeling it. We're in the world's most fantastic place. And when the winds came, we went with them, you know.
Watch out for the growler!
Yeah, I see it! Cool, over there! Going port!
All right.
Yeah, she's passing by.
Ah!
Oh, man. Okay, next one is going port.
Okay.
Siden vi kom til Antarktis, så var det problemer med kremvisperen her nede. Det er motorproblemer. Den har sviktet totalt. Det har gått noen timer, og hosta har gått, og jeg har gjort alt for å få den til å gå igjen. Men det er for kaldt for det, eller hva faen det er?
Det var en uslitelig Suzuki 7,5 hester. Uslitelig motor, sa bestefar, da han fikk den. I mean, we had no engine, which was to depend on, so we were totally dependent of the nature. We could sail with the winds, and we sailed until we lost the winds again, and we dropped anchor in a new place. And we always had to, you know, just go with the nature. We couldn't force it in any way.
Jeg seiler nå innover mot isen her. Det er noen store isfjell som har gått på grunn. Og jeg er litt bekymret, for det er lite vind. Og jeg har isfjell rundt meg overalt, og en del stein og grunner og dritt.
Whoa! There's a lot of ice.
Vel, vi er stadig i Lemmerkanalen. Det har løsnet opp litt grann. Og vinden kommer fra nordøst. Dreier litt med fjellene her. Men ja, det er i hvert fall vind. Så lenge det er vind, så driver båten også. Noah!
We're going over to an anchorage that is not an anchorage, where we hope to spend the night. Drop anchor, spend the night. It is approximately 10 o'clock p.m. You can see in the background the newly named Skull Harbor. I named it after myself, thank you. Here we are in the Lemaire Channel, Wales.
Det blir sittende fast I isen og blir låst inn et sted, eller blir skvist del av ismassene, det skrekken. The ice was just drifting with the current, and we had no winds, so we couldn't sail out of it, and we had no engine to run out of it, being a problem.
Vi var til en viss grad fanget da vi ikke hadde noe vind, men nå vinden tilbake, og forhåpentligvis kan vi komme gjennom kanalen her.
It became a struggle of survival. Out from the ice, drag the boats over ice, which is a big thing to do. Altså, jeg følte der I dag at nå berserk helt på grensen. Hvor mye mer kunne tåle før bristen kommer? Fordi når bristen kommer og båten åpner seg, da det bare en vei.
Fuck.
Straight ahead there. Can I get around that iceberg?
Where? Yeah, we took some hits, huh? How does it look?
Sailing in Antarctica!
When you're out sailing in Antarctica, you have to do some hard work now and then, and you have to swear because things doesn't go as planned. But you gain the real life, where the real things happen, you know? And that's what I want. Snø og kulde, og vi kikker etter å komme oss nordover. Siste ankeplass forhåpentligvis, hvis ikke noe uforutsett skjer med været. The winter was coming up, and I feel it's time to go.
I don't think they've ever seen a human being.
Første gang de ser et menneske, antagelig.
Hei! Ikke kom for nær vindlåret nå. Hei! Bow! Kan du da la være med det der? Wow!
I got it.
Da jeg dro fra Antarctic, så var jeg mett av alt peset og alt roinga og sånt nå. Likevel så satt jeg med inntrykk av det største jeg noen gang har opplevd I mitt liv. Det har skjedd nettopp her. Første 6 dagene de gikk unna som bare det. Vi var I full fart på vei mot målet. The seas were building up, and I was very happy for that storm because we did really good grounding. We did really good speed towards South Georgia. The storm in the Drake Passage was like all other storms in the beginning. We were riding one weather system and it was going very smooth, and it had been doing that for 2-3 days, so it was no problem. But there was 2 or 3 lows which met, And this other weather pattern breaks in, so that we get these freak waves, because you have two wave directions which meet, which makes very weird waves. Pretty big fucking waves, you know. This is the Southern Ocean, which is very famous for their waves.
So Dave, the storm is blowing. How's it going in here?
Well, let's see.
Shit, you're a fucking hero.
David wasn't like experienced with escaping the weather like I was, because I had sailed more than him, so obviously I had to do it. But yeah, so he made the food and he did all other things while I did the tiller. And it's cold, I mean it's a thunderstorm out there, the waves are crashing from all sides and you are freezing cold.
Jeg holder styretak i båten slik at man hele tiden kan rømme unna brytninger, så kan ikke båten bli brutt med.
As I got more exhausted, the personal mistakes come.
Og da var det litt traffes.
Okay. I don't know if you can see this, we've had a knockdown. The window has been knocked out. There's fucking stuff that up with. And we're still in the storm, as you can see. Trying to give a wide shot. This is as wide as it goes. Situation is not good.
A breaking wave took us. David, he was at this point in the bow sleeping, trying to sleep at least. It's not easy to sleep, but you know, he tried to get some rest, to get up some energy. And yeah, when this happened, he hit his head, you know, and it was all upside down. That moment, when you flip around, is pretty uncomfortable, that moment. You just go, what the fuck is going on? It came like that. Whoa, it's a lot of water here. I've been coming a lot in because the window had broken. And David was bailing as hell, you know, to get the water out. And I'm just trying to get the boat back on course again. The sea had gotten it. Boom. You are so focused in survival that you have to think to the next step. And if you think, hey, I'm going to die now, you stop.
Vi sover og bor begge nå inne I bauen her. Og her det hele skjer. David, put your head up here. And, og her ligger vi altså 2 stykker for å holde varmen og få hverandres kroppsvarme. Sikkert ikke nødvendig å fortelle at sengene her våte, som alle andre ting. Klær og dritt og møkk og faen. Det ikke om å gjøre å gå I... Which date is it, David? What? 9. mars. Andre dagen etter stormen. Vi har fått oss litt søvn. Og vi begynner å jobbe med båten for å få den I hvert fall ryddig igjen. Berserken helt totalt fått juling. Vi var full av vann tidligere og vi har fått ut det meste. Nå går kursen dit hvor vinden fører oss. Vi prøver å komme oss til første og beste sted hvor vi kan få skuta shipshape. David! I want you to keep that one as close as you can on the starboard side.
Which one? The dark one?
The rock there, the closest one.
Okay.
David was the best man I could sail with. This guy can take a bicycle to the moon, no problem. He was energy, the man himself, just being there, supporting and, helping out in all ways he could. He was doing his best. It was never any kind of doubt in his attitude. He didn't complain one time during that storm. It couldn't have been better for me. It gives you the feeling of being, and it gives you experience. It gives you what I call adventure, which is a door to fulfill a dream. Something which, this is yours. Well, it was really intense. I wanted to go adventuring. I knew I could die on the sea, I could die on the streets, I could die by a car running me down. So I put my risk there and I said, yeah, I want to do this and I want to go for it, And that's what I did. I went berserk. That's it.